Hey guys, good to see you again. So I'm back in college and back in my college apartment, and we're going to go ahead and do another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius video. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different because I actually am all out of Lapis on my Android, or rather Nox in particular. So that means I only can pull on my phone, on my iPhone. And I do understand there is a recording feature on iPhone, but I don't know how to use it, and I'd rather not worry about it too much. So for the time being, I did have some Lapis on my iPhone just by saving everything up, and I went ahead and pulled for the 2 laps of Cid's step-up banner. Now Cid, his step-up banner, despite him being the last one, I kind of wish it was the first one to do this, but hopefully, I don't know, maybe if they incorporate Veritas of the Bolt or Veritas of the Frost, because it is Spawn 8, we'll figure that out. Or maybe in the near future, like for Axstar or anyone with like CG limit bursts that have the same step-up of like, you know, 2 times rate up, 3 times rate up, 5 times rate up and stuff. Maybe they might incorporate that in there. But for Cid, it's actually, his step-up banner is really good. So if you have 24,000 Lapis and you really like him, and you should like him, he's a great guy. Great father, I think. A little too doting, but you know, what kind of parent doesn't dote on their kids? And yeah, so I was actually really lucky, and in the 2 laps I pulled for him, I got exactly 4, which means I have his Super Trust Master Reward Skyfeather, which is essentially a wind counterpart to Nalu's Vajrayana, which is a lightning spear. 175 attack, 2-handed, damage variance of 100% to 150%. So today what I'm going to do is, since I couldn't record the pulling video, and it wasn't that interesting, it was only like 8 laps or so, I'm going to go ahead and do a unit showcase of sort. Now this isn't going to be like a guide particular, like, you know, because I'm not the most well-educated with mechanics in FFBE. I kind of just BS my way through every trial, because in the 7-star meta, you can bring in like a team of the worst 7-stars in the game like Noctis and Tidus, and you could probably still win. So anything works. So I'm not like a huge min-maxer, but if you want to go and look for more educated reviews and whatnot, when Meme Lord releases his review, go ahead and show you guys how that works. But today I just want to showcase a little bit about his kit, you know, his passive, his components and whatnot, and then we're going to go ahead and take him into the Wind trial, or the Tower of Wind rather, which is quite fitting for a Wind finisher, and we're gonna beat up that dummy with this guy and see just how much damage he can do. So the first thing I want to show is that Cid has some pretty freaking good passives. First of all, with magic, he has his elemental, you know, standard elemental magic, Aeroga and Erosia. If you need to fill the requirement of deal wind damage or use black magic, he's there for you if you need to. Now, he has a lot of attack passives. With his, if you equip a spear onto him, he will grant you exactly 140% bonus attack. Pretty good. And with True Double Hand, if you equip his Hero's Vow Wind, you will have an instant 200% True Double Hand right out the gate, which means the only other True Double Hand material you'll have to equip is probably Skylancer, which is RNA's STMR. Very helpful, I think. That means he's not that equipment intensive. I keep scratching my head's itchy. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a couple of its abilities. So Blade Dance, not really that valuable, it's just a barrage, a really weak one. Dispel Lance, on the other hand, he can dispel if you need to. It's a single target dispel though. He also has Sky Charge, which is a lance. It just drains HP and MP, and it fills his limit burst gauge. It's only there if like you really need to use it. No one really cares about Lance anymore just because like regeneration is just so much better. The LB gauge thing is also not that great either, because like I said, there are much better ways to spend your turn doing something. Besides, Cid actually has a lot of uptime in his kit. I'm going to go ahead and talk about a couple of his jump abilities as quickly as possible. The first one is Clear Blue, which is a self Asuna, I think. Pretty much, yeah. And it's also a self parameter debuff break, or parameter break cure. There we go. So it removes attack, defense, magic, and spirit reductions for himself. There are units that are coming out that will be able to do that. We have, you know, Debra Naga, Defaith Naga, and I think Dishel Naga. But being able to do it for yourself, you know, if you ever need to, let's say your healer's busy doing something else, then that's actually quite helpful. So we have that there. The next one is Gale Grid, which is a Wind Imperil jump attack. Not the most fantastic out there. Well, I mean, it is a powerful one if you use Sky Dragon Squall, which is his cooldown ability, which buffs the next jump attack he uses. It brings it up to 10 times damage with time jump delay also, and 100% Wind Imperil. But it's better if you just use like your main damaging tool, which I'll get to right now. Spine Shatter Dive 0+. On its own, it does 18.5 times time jump delay damage. Now, some Dragoons, if they have very high damage multipliers in their kit, it will not be time jump, but this one is. However, the catch is you have to wait 15 turns. By then, the battle is going to be over unless you're playing some insanely long fight, or saying, you know, unless you're doing like Marlboro the hard way or something. And 15 turns is way too long to be able to do anything. However, Sky Dragon Squall will bring it down to 1 turn. So there you have it. Now his next 2 jumps, which are Aerial Shot and Downforce, break attack and defense and magic and spirit respectively from either 60% at base or 74% when buffed with Sky Dragon Squall. Very, very good. That's about the standard at the moment. Like for a decent breaker, you want 74% or higher, but you were better off just leaving him as a damage dealer and then, you know, delegating the debuffing or the breaking to another unit. Still, the option's there. It's always good to have options. And he has Air Stratos, which is Noctis's Point Warp in a nutshell, actually. I think it pretty much is exactly like Noctis's Point Warp, except it recovers, or it fills the LB gauge, which is helpful, I guess. But we're at a point where your healer can recover HP and MP pretty seamlessly at the moment. So this is only here if, let's say, you're like once again, if your healer is busy doing something else. Then we have Beast Spindle. Sid on his own has 250% Beast freaking Killer. This attack has 8.5 times time jump delay damage, so it's 10 times weaker than Spine Shatter Die 0 plus. But if he's attacking a beast, it will multiply up to 25.5 times damage multiplier. So this thing is gonna just destroy any beast that he runs into. But that's only for beasts. Okay, so on to the rest of his passes. Like I said, I already covered his attack and I recovered his True Double Hand. His, I guess, status element resist or status resist skill, it just resists blind and confuse. Blind, no one really cares about. And confusion though is helpful, pretty helpful. Would be nice if he got paralyzed or petrified, whatever, I mean, better than nothing. Alright, just one more thing that I do want to talk about is his, where is it? First generation Sid, if I can find it, boosts his LB damage by 20%. So his Invincible Highland goes from 14 times multiplier to, I believe, how do I not know what 14 divided by 5 is? 2.4. 2.4 times more, which increases to 4.8, so from 28 times multiplier, it turns into 32.8 times multiplier. Freaking good. However, because his Limit Burst is not a jump attack, it won't get buffed by all of his jump master, jump damage buffs, but whatever, it's still pretty good, and so an AoE finisher and it does win damage by itself. So, I'm going to go ahead and really quickly show you that I have my Sid fully maxed out in both Limit Burst, pots, or the important ones, no one cares about magic. And this is the items I have on him, or not the items, the equipment and materials. Not the most efficient build, I can probably get him up to 2600 attack if I went full min-max on him. Plus Sky Feather, it doesn't have any item world bonuses on it, and that can be an extra 40% attack. So we'll go ahead and wait on that later, but I still want to show you how the damage is going to be. We're going to be operating on 79% Wind Imperil. We're going to be also operating on Fenrir's AoE buff, so he won't be at maximum potential. However, we're going to just stack up chains with Aerial Ray and then finish off with his Limit Burst and his Spine Shatter Dive 0 plus. The only two abilities that really matter anyway for showing his damage. Now this is the third time I am recording this because the first time I recorded it, it took like 35 minutes and I was all over the place. The second time I recorded it, my microphone quality was just absolutely atrocious, so we're doing it again. Initially, I would have been very surprised by the damage, but now because I know how much damage he's going to do, it won't really be that consequential to me. Still though, I think he's quite a powerful finisher. Okay, so I think I covered everything I need to cover. There's one thing I do want to say, that I'm not too big a fan of gimmicky finishers like Dragoons or ramp up finishers like Emperor or something like that. I prefer to just use standard finishers like Ong and whatnot that can consistently dish out an X amount of damage or whatever. So this is actually my first time using him. So yeah, if I mess up on him or anything, I kind of get how to use him, but just, you know, in case I do something wrong here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and debuff first. Now, because the dummy is not a beast, we won't be able to do the beast killer damage on him. And you can't break its defense, although I don't even know if it has defense. That's probably why you can't even break it, but we're gonna assume it does have a little bit of defense and then work on it from there. Okay, so Invincible Highland, we're gonna go ahead and throw up Tempest Flash and gonna double flash Endless Punishment, and then I'm gonna pop up a macro to properly time this. Let's go ahead and see just how much damage he's going to do. I already know, but for you guys, 177 million, okay. So because his spear has a 50% damage variance from maximum to minimum, it might be low at times here and there, which means
I saw it do like 230 mil damage at one point, so there will be a little bit of damage variance, but he's still really freaking strong. Okay, Sky Dragon Squall. I'm gonna go ahead and reapply Kingdom's Order. And Howling Moon. Man, I'm talking a lot, holy crap. Alright, now, this changes into True Spine Shadow Dive 0. I don't know what 0 entails in here, but we're gonna go ahead and see how it works. Okay, 0 damage. Next one, alright, let's see if we're all ready to go. Whoops, wrong one. We're gonna stack up Tempest Flash and Endless Punishment once more. Then we're gonna finish it off with a solid oomph. Okay, ready, set, go. 480 mil damage. Now I've seen it do a lot more than that. I saw it do like 530 mil at one point, but as you can tell, it's really freaking powerful. 548 mil total. So Sid, now like I said, I don't really know exactly. I'm not a huge min-maxer, as I said in the very beginning of the video. You really don't need to do this much effort to take out content at the pace because of the 7-star meta just breaking everything, but I'm gonna assume that 500 billion damage is really good on a finisher, and Sid is expected to be T0 finisher for a long time. So unless you're up against any target like, let's say, Olive or Ang, so like if Olive is going up against a machine, chances are she's going to do much more damage. If Ang's going up against a bird, he'll probably do more damage. But if Sid is going up against a beast or anyone else that isn't any of those, he will do the most amount of damage, I think. He's really powerful, really consistent. I would recommend you do pick him up. I won't give a proper rating for exactly like how good he is. He does have a couple flaws, but he's relatively bulky. He's got good stats all across the board. He's got good damage, and he has a little bit of utility built into his kit if you do need to use him in that sense. So I do believe it is worth going for him, whoops, especially because of the fact that his step-up banner makes it easy for you to get like 3 or 4 of him if you get relatively lucky. You don't have to go too far for it, but I would say if I was able to get 4 of him, plus a bunch of other 5 stars, in 24,000 Lapis, then you probably can too. Considering that I do have really terrible luck when it comes to Desire Sensor, but... Alright, anyways, I think that's gonna be it, guys. This video was a little shorter than the last attempt, so I hope I didn't miss anything. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. I'm not a super technical pro at this. You'll probably have a better shot with Hal, or if you want to ask Meme Lord himself when he makes a review on it. But I can help you out with a couple things, I think. And if you enjoyed, if you want to share with your friends, feel free to do so. And rating would be much appreciated. Other than that, I think we're going to be good to go. Also, if I made a mistake, please correct me if I did miss anything. That's going to be it. I'm going to go ahead and call it a day and maybe go play some League of Legends now. So I will go ahead and sign off. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon in the next video. Take care.